Ladies and gentlemen, there is a fire inside of you. It may be faint, it may flicker low, but it is there. It is the flame of potential, the spark of greatness, the echo of purpose calling you to rise, to build, to become. We live in a time where success is often measured by numbers, followers, dollars, attention. But true success is not a performance for the world to applaud. It is a daily commitment to become something greater than you were yesterday. It is the unshakable decision to never quit on yourself. Let me give you 10 rules, 10 truths that will not just help you succeed, but help you stand. They are not easy. They are not convenient, but they are true. And truth, my friends, will never fail you. Discipline is not punishment, it is power. If you want to build a life of value, you must first build a spine of steel. Wake up early. Do what you say you will do. Honor your word. Discipline will separate you from the masses who drift, who wander, who fall asleep behind the wheel of their own lives. The most valuable currency you will ever have is time. You can lose money and make it back, but a minute gone is a minute buried. Stop giving your hours to things that do not feed your future. Social media, endless distractions, toxic people, cut them off like dead branches. Your destiny cannot afford dead weight. Stagnation is slow death. Success is movement. It does not always require speed, but it always demands motion. Whether you are sprinting or crawling, never stop moving. Even when you're unsure, move. Even when it's hard, move. Your direction will clear as you walk, but first you must refuse to stand still. Growth hurts. Transformation is uncomfortable. But pain is not a curse. It is a teacher. The gym hurts. The truth hurts. Change hurts. But through that pain, you're refined. Welcome it. Embrace it. For every scar earned through effort is a medal of growth. Do not let the world silence your voice. If you believe in something, stand for it. Speak it. Slave it. Let your convictions drive your choices, not your convenience. People will criticize. Let them. Your job is not to be liked. It is to live honestly. There is a lie that says balance is the key to everything. But there are seasons when obsession is what's required. When your dream is on the line, give it everything. Pour your sweat, your hours, your passion. Let it consume you, not in destruction, but in creation. The great ones were never lukewarm. They were on fire. The moment you think you know it all is the moment you stop growing. Humility is the gateway to wisdom. Be curious, ask questions, read, listen, learn. The world is filled with lessons, and the successful never stop studying the curriculum of life. You become like the people you spend time with. Surround yourself with warriors, with thinkers, with doers. Iron sharpens iron. Walk with the wise, and you will become wise. Walk with the lazy, and you will forget how to run. Discipline is not merely a matter of routine or structure. It is a holy fire that burns away the impurities of our character and forges within us the strength we are meant to carry. It is not found in fleeting moments of inspiration, but is cultivated in the quiet, unseen decisions made day after day, when no one is watching and no applause is given. It is in those early mornings when the bed calls you back to comfort, and you rise anyway. It is in those long hours of effort when no progress seems to come, yet you labor on. Discipline is the sacred practice of choosing the hard path, not because it is popular, but because it is right. The soul, like metal, is not shaped by ease, but by pressure and heat. Discipline applies that heat. It pushes us to confront the lazy parts of our nature, the parts that want to delay, to excuse, to coast. It challenges every weakness, every excuse, every tendency to settle for less. But in doing so, it also draws out what is eternal within us: endurance, focus, grit, and resolve. These are not traits we inherit. They are born in the furnace of discipline. We are not born strong. We become strong through the choices we make again and again. True discipline is not harshness. It is love in motion. It is the refusal to let comfort rob us of growth. It is saying, I believe in the future enough to fight for it now. And that fight is not a grand spectacle. It is simple. It is quiet. It is choosing to study when you'd rather scroll. It's choosing the gym over the couch. It is choosing honesty over shortcuts. These small decisions are bricks that build a mighty fortress of character, but each one must be laid with care. Discipline also teaches us to honor time. Time is the great equalizer. It comes to us all moment by moment, second by second. But discipline teaches us how to use it well. It trains us to focus, to be intentional, to pursue goals not with bursts of effort, but with sustained attention and action. It says, you may not see the results today, but keep going. And in that going, the soul is refined. What once was scattered becomes focused. What once was weak becomes firm. What once was lost becomes found in the rhythm of purpose-driven effort. In a world built on distraction and instant gratification, discipline is rebellion. It is swimming against the tide. It is living with meaning while others drift in circles. It is not glamorous, but it is powerful. Because every act of discipline tells your soul, you are in charge now. Not your appetite, not your emotions, not your circumstances, you. There is a danger far greater than failure. It is delay. Waiting has destroyed more dreams than rejection ever could. Waiting for the right time, waiting for the right mood, waiting for clarity, for permission, for a perfect plan that will never come. The truth is, most people are not stopped by obstacles. They are stopped by hesitation. There is a voice that whispers, not yet, you're not ready, and it sounds reasonable, sensible even, but that voice is the sound of your potential being strangled by fear disguised as caution. That voice is not wisdom, it is paralysis dressed up as planning. Because what we call awaiting for the right time is often just fear in hiding, and fear, if left unanswered, grows strong. But action, imperfect, raw, courageous action, is what crushes it. Every second you wait, the clock keeps ticking. The world does not pause for you to decide. Life is happening right now, and inaction is not neutral. It is movement in the wrong direction. You may not feel it, but while you stand still, the dream inside you begins to decay. That book you didn't write, the idea you never started, the person you never called, those moments don't come back. They gather dust in the corners of your soul, waiting for a courage that may never come if you don't choose it now. You will never feel fully ready. That is the secret. No one does. Readiness is a myth. There is no perfect moment, no magical alignment of signs that say, oh, this is it. The only sign you need is the breath in your lungs and the fire in your gut. If something stirs in your spirit, if something calls you forward, then that is your moment. That is your green light. Action does not require certainty. It only requires commitment. You may stumble, you may fail. But even in failure, you will learn. Even in mistakes, you will move forward. However messy is better than perfect plans never put into motion. The movers of the world, the inventors, the leaders, the creators, they did not wait for confidence. They stepped out and found it on the way. Do not let waiting become your identity. Do not build a life on a someday as a graveyard of dreams. You must begin. Begin small, begin afraid, begin unsure. But begin. Take one step today, one phone call, one journal entry, 1 hour of focused effort. That single act can break the chains of delay and unlock the momentum you've been praying for. You do not need more time. You need more urgency. You do not need more signs. You need more obedience to the pull in your heart. Life favors the bold, and not because they never fear, but because they move despite it. Every great change begins with a decision. I will not wait anymore. We spend so much of our lives avoiding pain, dodging discomfort, and trying to protect ourselves from every sharp edge. But the truth is this: pain, though unpleasant, is one of the most powerful teachers we will ever encounter. It does not flatter, it does not sugarcoat, it does not coddle. Pain tells the truth. It reveals what is weak, what is unhealed, what is real. And in that truth, it offers the possibility of transformation. Pain is not punishment, it is preparation. It arrives not to destroy, but to refine. It shows up when the easy way out is no longer an option, when the illusions fall away and all that remains is who you really are. Pain strips the soul bare, not to shame you, but to show you. Show you where you've settled, where you've been silent when you should have spoken, where you've been passive when you should have risen. There are lessons that cannot be learned in comfort. You cannot understand perseverance without pressure. You cannot grasp the depth of healing without first being wounded. You cannot discover your strength until something tries to break you. Pain introduces you to the parts of yourself that ease has never met. Think of every scar, physical, emotional, or spiritual. That mark is not just a sign of damage. It is a symbol of survival. It means you went through something and came out the other side. Maybe not unscathed, but stronger, wiser, deeper. Pain expands the soul. It stretches your capacity. It deepens your empathy. It sharpens your focus. Those who have suffered well become the ones who see more clearly, love more deeply, and lead with greater compassion. Pain is not chaos. It is a call to stop running, a call to face what you've buried, a call to grow. And when you stop fighting it, when you stop numbing it, when you stop fleeing from its presence, you begin to hear what it's been trying to teach you all along. You begin to ask better questions. What is this pain showing me? What needs to change? What needs to heal? Do not mistake pain for weakness. The presence of pain does not mean you are failing. It means you are feeling. It means you're alive. It means you are touching the edges of your growth, brushing up against the limits of your comfort zone. And every time you choose to press through instead of retreat, you become more. You develop endurance, resilience, character, the things that cannot be bought, only earned in the fire. Some of the greatest strength in this life comes not from what we avoid, but from what we endure. Pain, when embraced with open hands and a willing heart, becomes a sacred mentor. It carves away the superficial and reveals the eternal. It teaches you that survival is not enough. You were meant to thrive, to rise, to become whole through the breaking. Your voice is not just sound, it is a force. A reflection of the battles you fought, the truths you've discovered, and the fire that burns within your spirit. But too many walk this earth with voices buried beneath fear, silence, or the approval of others. To master your voice is not to speak louder, it is to speak truer. It is to shape your words with purpose, to wield them like a blade and a balm, cutting through falsehood, healing the broken and calling the world to something higher. Your voice, once claimed, becomes a weapon against apathy. It becomes a light in places where shadows have lingered too long. But you cannot master your voice if you do not first know your convictions. And conviction does not come from popularity, nor is it born from comfort. Conviction is what remains when everything else is stripped away. It is the foundation you stand on when the crowd walks the other way. It is the truth you will not sell, even when the cost rises. It is the line you will not cross, not because it is convenient, but because it is right. To be the master of your voice means you do not speak for applause. You speak from a place deeper than ego, from the well of principle, from the root of identity. You do not echo what is trending. You declare what is true. And truth will not always be welcomed. It will not always be praised, but it will always stand. And your voice, anchored in conviction, will stand with it. But to master your voice also means learning to listen. A voice without wisdom is just noise. And wisdom is born in silence, in reflection, in sitting with hard truths and unspoken pain. When you listen well, your voice gains weight. When you learn before you speak, your words carry depth. And when you speak not just to be heard, but to serve, to awaken, your voice becomes a tool of transformation. Being a servant of your conviction means living in alignment. It means your actions echo your beliefs. Your decisions reinforce your values. Your life becomes a living testament to the things you claim to believe. You don't just talk about justice, discipline, or courage. You live it quietly, consistently, unapologetically. And when the world pulls at you to compromise, to water down your message, to blend in, you serve your conviction, not your comfort. You may not always have the biggest platform. You may not be handed a microphone or a spotlight, but that doesn't matter. Master your voice in the small spaces. Let it rise in your daily choices, in your conversations, in your relationships. Let your conviction show up in how you speak to strangers, how you stand up when others sit down, how you hold your ground when silence would be easier. Comfort is a slow and silent thief. It enters unnoticed, wrapped in ease and disguised as peace. It tells you to relax when you should rise. It tells you to settle when you should stretch. And before you know it, the fire that once burned in your bones flickers low, not because it died, but because it was never fed. Comfort whispers lies to the soul. It says, you've done enough. It says, oh, take it easy now. It seduces you with soft living and convinces you that rest is the reward, rather than a momentary pause between battles. But you were not built for the couch. You were not made to drift through life numb, distracted, and half alive. You were created to push, to reach, to wrestle with hard things and come out stronger on the other side. Growth demands discomfort. There is no breakthrough without pressure. There is no elevation without effort. The second you begin to settle, you begin to shrink. Dreams die in comfort zones. Vision fades in the absence of challenge. The sharp edge of your potential becomes dull when you stop using it. And the tragedy is not just the life you lose, but the life you could have lived. The greatest danger is not failure. It is success that leads to stagnation. When things start going well, when the goals are met, when the progress is visible, the temptation grows strong to sit back and coast. But the same hunger that got you here is the hunger that must keep you moving. Celebrate, yes. Rest briefly, yes. But never ever let comfort become your new standard. It is a ceiling disguised as a soft place to land. Comfort kills urgency. It quiets the inner voice that calls you higher. It makes you forget the pain it took to rise in the first place. It convinces you that good is good enough when greatness is still within reach. And over time, if left unchecked, comfort becomes a cage. It locks you into routines that no longer challenge you. It surrounds you with familiar things that no longer grow you. It keeps you busy but not fulfilled, active but not alive. To live fully, you must keep seeking, keep climbing, keep becoming. You must embrace the stretch, the reach, the friction of becoming something more. The moment you feel like you've arrived is the moment you begin to decline. You must keep setting new standards, not out of pressure, but out of purpose. You must keep finding new mountains to climb, not for ego, but for evolution. The best version of you still lies ahead. And the path to it will not be paved in comfort, but in challenge, in the willingness to be uncomfortable again and again until discomfort becomes familiar. Because it's there in the grind, in the resistance, in the reach, that greatness is not just touched but lived. Comfort may feel safe, but it is in discomfort that you are sharpened, tested, and transformed. Gratitude and hunger can coexist. Be thankful for what you have, but never let that gratitude become complacency. There is more in you. There is more to do. Do not settle for comfort when greatness is still on the table. Money fades. Fame dies. But legacy, that's eternal. What are you building that will last beyond your final breath? A song? A book? A business? A better world? Success is not just about rising, it's about lifting. Make your life a lighthouse for others to see. My friends, you are not called to live a life of mediocrity. You are not here to be average. You were born for something more, and that more will not come easy. It will require sacrifice, sweat, pain, rejection. But hear me when I say this. You are stronger than your struggle. Let these rules be more than words. Let them be bricks in the foundation of your future. Every day lay one down, one discipline, one choice, one courageous step forward. And one day you'll look back, not at a life of regrets, but at a mountain you climbed with calloused hands and an unshakable heart. Go, build, become.